Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Little Game Helper, the podcast where we talk about small games, hidden gems, and clever designs that make you say, hey, that's really smart. Today, we're diving into a game that's tiny, portable, and surprisingly strategic, and somehow manages to feel like a full fantasy adventure using a deck of cards you never even put down on the table. We're talking about Galdor's Grip. And honestly, this thing is one of the coolest examples of a minimalist game design I've seen in quite some time. So, what is Galdor's Grip? Galdor's Grip is a solo fantasy print and play card game played entirely in your hand. No board, no table, no giant setup, just cards and your brain. The core game uses only 18 cards, even though expansions increase that count, and the whole experience revolves around manipulating the order and orientation of the deck to score enough points before disaster strikes. And yes, when I say played entirely in your hands, I mean it. You can literally play this game standing in line, sitting on the couch, riding a train, or pretending to pay attention during that meeting absolutely should have been an email. Not that I would recommend that officially. The story setup is wonderfully dynamic. A telepath has invaded the mind of Galdor to unleash an ancient evil hidden deep within his psyche. Your job is to navigate through the manifestations, memories, and mental dangers to stop him. So mechanically, this becomes a puzzle game. A very thinky puzzle game. You manipulate cards by rotating them, cycling through the deck, changing orientations, triggering powers, setting up scoring combinations. At first glance, it feels simple. Then about 10 minutes later, you realize, oh no, this game expects me to be clever? And it absolutely does. The table? No need for that. This is the feature that everybody talks about first, and for good reason. The game is designed specifically so you never need to lay the cards out. Everything happens in your hand, and somehow it works. Like it really works. I absolutely love this aspect of the game, and you will too, especially if you like solo play and want something portable and fast to set up. And that's honestly what makes Galdor's Grip feel special. It's just a small game. It's a deliberately compact design. Every card matters, every choice matters, and every time you think, I've got this figured out, the deck humbles you immediately. Don't let the tiny size fool you. This game has depth, a lot of depth, and you're constantly balancing risk, posturing, future scoring, threat management, and your deck manipulation. And because the lost conditions can happen suddenly, the game creates this wonderful tension where every action really feels important. You'll spend entire turns thinking, okay, so if I rotate this card and then jump 2 spaces, then trigger this ability, and then accidentally doom yourself anyway, which is part of the fun. So, the vibe. Galdor's Grip really feels fantasy. The art, the card names, it makes you feel like you're wandering through somebody's fragmented, magical subconscious. It's weird, dreamlike, a little ominous, and surprisingly immersive for a game made of fewer cards than most trading card game starter packs. It's print and play friendly. Because this is an itch.io print and play game, accessibility is a huge part of its charm. The files are available in A4 format, US letter format, and the creator even bundled in expansions into a larger 36 card game package. Some players talk about printing and laminating their own copies, building storage boxes, and even professionally printing custom decks later on, which is honestly one of the favorite things about print and play community. People don't just play the games, they craft them, and you can feel the hobby energy all over it. So, why do people love it? Galdors Grip has become surprisingly popular in the solo gaming community over the last couple of years, and I think it's because it solves a really specific problem beautifully. How do you make a meaningful solo game that's portable, fast, cheap, and replayable? Well, apparently the answer is Wizard Brain Cards. Who knew? And the replayability comes from your random deck order, expansion combinations, different strategies, and increasing mastery over the system. Because the games are relatively quick, it encourages repeat play. You lose and immediately think, okay, but now I know what I'm doing wrong. And then an hour later, you're still doing it wrong, but you're having fun doing it. And that's the plan. So my experience playing it, Galdors Grip feels like solving a magical Rubik's Cube, reading somebody else's spell book, and arguing with your own brain. At least that was my takeaway. I started looking at the cards and thinking, this should work. And the game says, wrong, bucko. It's one of those games where success feels earned, not random, not accidental, but earned. Though sometimes luck absolutely decides to show up and kick you down the staircase. So, who is this game for? You'll probably love Galdors Grip if you enjoy solo games, puzzle-heavy systems, portable gaming, print and play projects, strategic card manipulation, especially if you like games that are easy to carry but hard to master. So our final thoughts, Galdors Grip is a brilliant example of elegant design. It's got a tiny footprint, big decisions, strong atmosphere, and genuinely clever mechanics. It proves you don't need hundreds of cards, miniatures, giant mats, or a 6-foot table to recreate a memorable fantasy game. Sometimes all you need 18 cards and your brain. So that's it today for the Little Game Helper. If you want to check out Galdors Grip, the link will be in the show notes. If you enjoyed the episode, follow the podcast, share it around, and let me know what indie or solo game you'd like seeing covered next. Until next time, keep playing weird games, keep supporting indie creators, and remember, if a fantasy card game tells me it's easy to learn, it usually means the game is about to outsmart me. Dang it. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, our website, thelittlegamehelper.com, or your favorite podcast supplier. Thank you again.